The target pattern for this lecture is we may or might as well. With this pattern, you have a choice of may or might. So you can say we may as well or we might as well. Both mean exactly the same thing. Let's have a look at the meaning first. Look at this example. We may as well walk to the cinema. It's only 5 minutes away. So what does this pattern mean? It means there's no reason you shouldn't do this thing. This is probably the best thing to do. We often use it to suggest something. So this pattern is used to say, why not? Why not do something? Maybe it's a good idea. So we're trying to suggest as well. We're trying to say, I think this is a good idea. Why shouldn't we do it? So in the example I just gave, it said, we may as well walk to the cinema. It's only 5 minutes away. So because the cinema is so close, so nearby, why shouldn't we walk? It's a good idea to walk. It won't take long. We can get some exercise and fresh air. Maybe it's a good idea. Okay, so the person is basically saying, why not walk? They're suggesting it's a good idea to walk. Now let's look at some examples so that it's much clearer for you. Here's the first one. If you want to go to the beach, you may as well go today when the weather is nice. So this person is suggesting that the other person go to the beach today because the weather is good. So he is saying, why not go today? You said you wanted to go to the beach. It's a good idea to go today because the weather is good. Perhaps tomorrow it might rain. So go today while the weather is fine. So this is used as a suggestion in this example. The person is saying, why not go today? It's a good idea. Here is the next example. The employee says, the others are late. Shall I just start my presentation now? And the boss says, you might as well. They are probably stuck in traffic. So in this example, the employee is giving a presentation and some of the other people are late. So she suggests, shall I start now? And the boss says, you might as well. So this means, why not? Maybe it's a good idea because the other people are probably stuck in traffic. They might be another 30 minutes late. So maybe it's a good idea to start now. Let's look at one more example. We've worked hard today. There's nothing more to do. We might as well go home. So this person is at work and he's saying, today we've worked very hard and there's nothing more to do. We've finished all the work. So why not go home? We might as well go home. Even if it's early, maybe it's 3 p.m. They finish at 5 normally, but because they've done everything and they've worked very hard, he suggests we might as well go home. I think it's a good idea now to go home. There's no more work to do, and we worked very hard today. So this is used to suggest something and to say, I think it's a good idea. Why not? Now let's look at the structure of this pattern. Here is the basic structure. We say you, he, she, etc. might or may as well, plus a verb, plus an object. For example, we might as well go home. So that's the basic structure. There is another way to use this particular pattern. Let's have a look at the other way we can use it. So when we listen to another person's suggestion, we can use the structure you, he, she, etc. might or may as well without a verb and an object after. So look at the example below. Person A says, shall I start my presentation now? And person B says, you might as well. So in this case, person B doesn't need to use the verb and the object because it's clear what he means. What he means is, you might as well start your presentation now. But he doesn't need to say the full sentence. He can just use the pattern, you might as well, because the meaning is clear from the context. So those are the ways to use this English pattern. Move on to the exercises and don't forget to download the MP3 files. Listen to them as much as you can so you can train your brain to master this English pattern. See you in the next lecture.